Wait, that's so predictable that you're reading the Daily Stoic.
I know, I'm such a basic... I had asked him like, so what about my dad made him so sad? My tito was like, actually, he was sad a lot, like maybe 60% of the time because of you.
Oh, damn. Hey guys, welcome to Art and Life. This is your daily dose of creative inspiration filled with great conversation about the beauty and intricacies of art and life. This podcast is available on both YouTube and Spotify, so either subscribe or follow. Hope you enjoy. Peace. All right, we ready?
Yes.
We are recording on the camera. We are recording on the audio. Guys, it's season 2. Welcome back. Right now, it's probably not out during this month because I'm still plotting. You guys won't know what I'm doing. But welcome back to season 2, Art and Life. Guys, we're starting out strong. You guys are not going to see the guest yet. I'm not going to put him yet. But we're starting out strong. You know, I'm really just been plotting about so many things, making the segments so much funner, so much more engaging, and about to have great conversation all the freaking time with amazing artists. I'm so excited. So today, we got an amazing artist. Of course, we always have amazing artists on this podcast. That's why it's called Art and Life. Today, my next guest is one of the freshest, most inventive musicians I know. He solidified a name for himself in the local music scene and has since been making fire tracks. Such a creative mind comes with a very deep and philosophical genius. And that's the person I'm super excited to have a conversation with today. Everyone, let's welcome Mito, aka Curtismith.
Thank you.
Claps from Leela. She's right here also. How are you, Mito? Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so
Congrats
excited.
on season 2.
Thank you. Yeah, so how have you been? How's it been going?
Good. Adjusting, since post-pandemic.
As all of us are.
Yeah.
So, okay, this is going to be the very first time I'm introducing a new segment. And it's going to be fun. It's called the ARTBREAKER. It's an icebreaker for the artists because I want the audience to get to know your idols a little bit more. And we're going to get to know what they like and enjoy. So this is ARTBREAKER. I'm going to ask you some fast questions about what you're interested in, okay?
Cool, okay.
And we'll kind of get to know who you are and what you like, okay? You ready for it? All right, Mito Curtismith.
Oh, shit.
All right, 3, 2, 1. What are you currently reading right now?
3 things, but they're very anecdotal.
Tell me.
So one is The Things You See When You Slow Down.
Ooh, I think I know that.
It's a good one. And then... what's the other anecdote? Oh, yeah, The Daily Stoic.
Ooh, no, that's amazing, though. Are you reading it every day?
Well, sometimes I'll, lag 3 days. So I have, 3 days worth to catch up on. And then the last one is Lord of the Rings.
Wait, that's so predictable that you're reading the Daily Stoic.
I know, I'm such a basic
No, it's not. I finished it.
Good,
so I'm a basic too. But no, I mean, you practice Stoicism, I see it. So
thanks. Yeah.
Very, very predictable. All right, next. What's your most played song on Spotify right now?
My most played song, something probably by Chet Baker. I've been listening to him a lot.
Love Chet Baker. Yeah. Only Chet Baker right now?
On Spotify, actually, this is not a Spotify plug, but there's a playlist called Classic Jazz or Classical Jazz.
Ooh.
And I just play it. It starts with, what's that song? I think it's not Nina Simone, but anyway. Yeah, Classical Jazz on Spotify. It's a good playlist. I suggest it.
Added. Best film you've watched lately?
White Chicks.
That's exactly what they brought up before. We were talking. I was showing them all my films that I love. I'm like, do you guys what's your favorite film? They're like, White Chicks. Hey, that's a legendary film. Gotta say.
Dude.
Classic. Okay, a mantra that has stuck with you lately.
I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am wise.
Love that. I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am wise. You are too, viewer. You are too. And lastly, what music do you usually listen to when you're working out?
I listen to really toxic masculinity podcasts.
Toxic masculinity? Wow.
Yeah.
I love the honesty. But wow, podcast. I would have never thought that, podcasts would pump you.
No, you know those types.
Yeah.
Not like the worst kind. Not like what's his name, Tate. Not like
Okay, thank God.
But
Leela's like,
maybe a couple notches below, and so like
notches.
While I'm struggling, they're just like spewing in some alpha wolf, and I'm like,
hey, you need that sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so now kind of get a feel of where you are right now. What you like? You're toxic.
Toxic basic bitch. Perfect.
That is Curtis.
Everyone's just like out like that.
No, okay, but thank you. I mean, like, we all have our little quirks and stuff. Thank you for sharing all of that. Kind of know you a bit better now. I'd like to give a quick shout out to Garmin. This is the VIVOACTIVE 5 with a bright 1.2-inch AMOLED touchscreen display. It has up to 11 days of battery life in smartwatch mode. There's detailed health and wellness insights all throughout with various built-in sports apps. You can also enjoy the Garmin Connect app with advanced fitness features. If you want to win a brand new VIVOACTIVE 5, just check the description box below. Thanks, Garmin. Back to the show. All right, and so now the thing is with podcasts that I'm trying to do is get a little bit more focused on the themes we have. And something that I feel like, a lot of people would learn from you is your take on sobriety and like how sobriety has also kind of, I guess, impacted your life. Like how many months has it been for you that you're off like alcohol?
Like 3 days.
3 days?
9 months and a couple of days.
9 months. Yeah. That's long as hell.
It's a baby.
That's baby?
It's a baby.
Because I remember I went, I saw him, he was like 60 days sober, and I was like, oh, I'm trying to be sober too. I was like 1 month sober, and I'm like, yes, 1 month. And then,
dude, it's no small feat.
Thank you. But 9 months, that ain't a small feat either. So amazing. And I think, that's going to be pretty much a lot of the bulk we're going to talk about today, because I feel like there's a lot of artists out there, I feel that, have kind of struggle with, feeling like they need to be on something to create.
Definitely.
They need to be like doing certain drugs or drinking so that they get into this creative mode. And I feel like, we can kind of see what it feels like as an artist to not be on those things. So first of all, like, you've always been very passionate about your philosophies and beliefs in life. So I know that your creative mentality has also been impacted by this choice, this life decision. If you don't mind me asking, what led you to one day saying like, why don't I just like cut alcohol? Yeah, why?
I was going overboard with like alcohol and all that stuff. Yeah,
this was like last year.
And the reason why I brought up the pandemic a while ago was because I was having a hard time, like, to put it like in the most watered down version, I was having trouble growing up and maturing. And I was using my vices as an outlet to keep running away from the responsibilities that I had to take now as an adult.
I mean, it's a coping mechanism,
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's such a huge thing for you to come to that awareness. Because I think it always starts from awareness, right? Like knowing, okay, I'm using this as something that, I'm just going away from my problems. I feel like the same way when I decided to go sober for like a month. That was a time where I also realized, I think I'm trying not to face the struggles I have as an artist or like things that I'm dealing with inside. I just want to drown it out with like drinking. I want to drown it out with something. And it's like, at some point, you just gotta like face it. So you came to that, like, was there a night that just like kind of woke you up, or is just more of like long time coming kind of thing?
I went to a therapist.
Okay.
I went to a therapist and she gave
Promote
me...
therapy.
Yeah. She gave me 2 options. She was like, okay, I can prescribe you some drugs, but you have an addictive personality. You're actually an addict. And an addict to substance.
Yeah.
And so she gave me that option, or she said, have you tried sobriety? And I was like, not since I was like 14, 15. And so I really had no idea. And the whole, when she told me I was an addict, it was very interesting for me because I have addiction in both sides of my family. The closest one to me was my dad, and he was an alcoholic. So my gauge was always like, okay, I'm not like my dad. I'm not like a 9 out of 10 in one particular vice. So I'm fine.
Yeah.
But I was a solid 6 across the board. And so that in itself, but I was an addiction. So when she pointed that out to me, I was like,
You were like trying to justify it.
yeah. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, I am an addict. How do I deal with this? And so she gave me 3 like plans of action for sobriety. And I remember 2 vividly. The first one was pick a date. And that conversation happened on December 18. I picked December 25, which was like, I wanted to give myself a Christmas gift.
Aw.
Yeah. And she said I had to pick a why. My why. I had to find my why. And I had no idea what it was. And then on the 23rd of December, I was still looking for the why while all of these Christmas parties are happening, of course.
Yeah, that's hard.
It's tough. So I was going hard. I was like,
Why?
I'm good and I'm good. And so I'm finishing bottles of wine.
Yeah.
And that night I'm talking to my dad's best friend who I hadn't seen in over 10 years. And so we were supposed to have dinner from like 8 to 10 p.m. We ended up drinking until like 4:30 in the morning. And at some point in that conversation that I was having with him, I had asked him like, so what about my dad made him so sad? And like, you know, just, yeah, he was a sad guy at a lot of the times. And that's why he used alcohol. And my Tito was like, actually, he was sad a lot, like maybe 60% of the time because of you.
Oh, damn.
And it's because I wanted him to quit alcohol.
Yeah.
And he couldn't.
The
like,
guilt?
I guess so. He couldn't quit, right? Like, and he would cry to his best friend about this. And then so when he told me that, I was like, wow, I'm consuming the same thing that caused me so much pain as a child.
Yeah.
And I was at the point of a crossroads of whether I was just going to continue what my dad was like or kind of try a different direction. I mean, my dad was a beautiful soul, but he did have his demons. And so I chose different demons.
But you're choosing angels now.
Sometimes.
Then moving forward, was the start kind of like difficult?
It's still difficult. But, you know, I really think that why has really kept me grounded. I've, you know, a lot of my good friends, my best friend even, got married this year. And I've gone to a bunch of bachelor's parties and some of them out of the country. And I was able to not consume anything. Thank you.
I need that. I need to do that. That's really hard for me, honestly.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
So like when you were going through like, you know, the months, what is like the summary of your why that resounds in your head when you're like looking at all the vices? Like, do you have to say it to yourself or you just know like?
At this point, I just know it. Like it's just like a really solid why, that it weighs heavy. You know what I mean? And so I've never had, without the therapy, I would have never been able to have this anchor of sorts.
Yeah.
But because of the therapy, I was, you know, pointed towards the right direction. And I haven't really needed much of the therapy since. So.
Great. I mean, I guess when you take out all the vices that bring you down, you kind of get to know yourself more and then you're more aware of the things that are breaking you. Right? I feel like that's what happened to me when I was sober for a month. I mean, I started to see what are the things that are bringing me down. And I'm like, okay, so I just needed to stay away from that.
What were the things for you?
We don't need to talk about that. Just wine. Okay, but anyway, so at the time when you realized this, that you wanted to take this life decision of being sober, like where were you at in your, you know, artistic journey, like as an artist at this time? Like how were you in your artistic journey at
Terrible.
this time?
It was so bad. There were points in time where I would just be watching something and I would just break down.
Yeah. Like what is going through your head then, like when you're looking at that?
You know, triggers, trauma, undealt with emotional baggage that you just push to the side.
Yeah.
So I would watch something like for example, like Interstellar, for example.
Oh my
Watching
God.
Interstellar, and then
I just watched that recently, by the way, which is crazy that everybody's like, oh, you got to watch Interstellar. I'm like, I haven't watched it. I watched it.
oh, so that point where like he was trying to communicate with his daughter, and it was him all along, like trying to communicate. I was like,
I cry so much. Are we about to cry? I'm just kidding.
I feel it. I feel it.
I know. I actually, that's such a, after I watched that, because I only watched it recently, like I was like, damn, like the power of like, that really hit me. I was like, is this what happens like in life? Like, am I somehow talking to my dad in my dreams? I started like thinking about those things. I'm like, man. So, you know, at this time compared to now, do you feel like because of the sobriety, like as an art, like in your creative journey at least, like have you been able to deal with those demons that used to come up?
No.
No?
Really? Honestly, no.
But like, how has it been improving for you then?
I have a very addictive personality, and because there's so much more time where I'm not missing a hangover and stuff like that, I just decided to lock in on like moving.
Fitness.
Yeah. So every day.
I see that. You've been on it.
Every day it's, well, I really try every day. My objective is just to move. Like it's not, oh, I need to burn this many calories, etc., etc. I don't even check the weighing scale these days. It's really just, did I move today?
Yeah.
How are my joints? And feeling the gratitude to even be able to move.
And I think that's honestly like, while we're young, it's so much better that you're doing that rather than drinking. Honestly.
I mean, I don't feel very young anymore. My joints are crazy.
Hey, we're young. We're young, Mito. We got a lot ahead of us.
Thank you.
Okay, so like personally then, like what has this sobriety kind of impacted you personally? Like as a boyfriend, as a son, as a friend, like what has gotten better in terms of like the way you are right now from the past Mito, drinking Mito?
I'm still working on it. I'm very novice at it, but just really living in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's it. Yeah, whether it's like being in the moment with a friend and listening to them, and you know, as we've gotten older, we haven't been able to hang out like we were when we were younger, where we were together literally every day, sleeping over each other's houses and stuff. Now, like some of them are married, you know, all that stuff, and so we see each other maybe every so often, and to be able to really be in the moment, enjoy their company. They're all still drinking. They're all still doing the same thing that we all used to do, and you know, just being there, being grateful,
being aware. I feel
aware,
like when you're like on a lot of things or you're not like sober, I feel like you forget about certain amazing moments because you're drunk, you forget you're whatever else you are like, and then it just passes by. So I have yet to like really, I haven't like when I was sober for a month, I didn't really like have grand moments. Like I feel like a lot of like really crazy celebrations. Like I wish I was sober or I wish I remembered certain things in the night. So I feel like it's such a different experience probably for you to be going all these celebrations and like taking it in and like actually really experiencing the moment for what it is.
Honestly, I'd still rather be drunk in those experiences. But
but for now,
honestly, no. But
no, I love the honesty. Honestly, I feel like it's an ongoing journey. This sobriety,
for sure,
you know,
for sure. It's just for me. It's the baseline level of my dopamine has been lowered.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I get a dopamine hit now, it's from a lot simpler things, and the spike is higher.
Mm-hmm.
When I used to drink, I would, for example, find substances that made my dopamine high, but then the base level gets lower as I recover.
So you need more.
So I need more, and it just keeps getting lower and lower. And so whereas now it's a steady baseline, and although it doesn't hit as high, for example, if I'm partying with my friends or stuff, maybe I'm doing something much more simple, like playing with my dog or chilling with my girlfriend, and then you know something happens, like she makes me a cup of tea, and I'm just like, this is amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the simple things.
Yeah.
No, I love that. There's science to it for sure. I wish I remembered the science to it. I was watching, like, there's this podcast Huberman. He talks about dopamine levels a lot, and like especially when you're like abusing your dopamine levels for fake dopamine, because there's fake dopamine, like is what they call it, like stuff that exactly what you said. It's like it's gonna give you a lot of like it's gonna pull it up, but then the moment it comes down, it's all the way down, and then you're gonna need more. So real dopamine is like working out, having like simple moments, being with your friends, your family. So I super agree with that kind of way of thinking and the way that's affected you with how you look at, I guess, pleasures in life, because there's a difference between enjoyment and pleasure, right? It's from the book I was reading, Flow.
Cool. I haven't read that yet.
You should.
I should.
Because you like books. You should read that. It's
I gotta find my flow.
Yeah,
I really do actually.
I recommend that book,
Thanks.
Flow. It changed my life, honestly.
Okay.
And
Noted.
so, okay, so you, with your creating, have you been able to create more lately? Like, how has this like affected your creative process, your creative juices, like, as opposed to when you were drinking a lot?
I think I just think about myself less. So that has a lot of connotation that I just really don't want to dig too deep in, because it's just like a waste of time for this podcast. But what I mean by thinking of myself less is I'm able to explore different avenues where I didn't consider before, because I no longer have this like sense of self where I'm like, no, I am this way.
Yeah.
So now it's more
your ego is kind of like to the back.
correct. Sometimes it comes back.
Yeah.
Strong.
It's the enemy.
It's the enemy. Yeah. But yeah. So I'm able to explore these different avenues of creativity, and that actually is what's now able to feed the music stuff. Whereas before, when I was drinking and all that stuff, I was so zoned in on music and so zoned in on like I want to make something that everybody loves, and it was always about
you're thinking about
everyone else except myself. So I'm just like falling back in love with myself.
Love that. Gotta give him a clap for that.
Thank you.
That's great. No, I think especially with where you were at in your career, like you had a lot of eyes on you. You had a lot of people who were just like watching your career, and like, I feel like with that kind of level of like, okay, I need to get them more interested. I need to satisfy them more. It's like it becomes this constant like, okay, how do I keep serving and serving? But then it shouldn't be that way. Like I think it's a struggle for all artists, when you start thinking about how to please, when it shouldn't be that way. So now you're trying different types of art. He came into the room with a video. I was like, oh, you're into video now.
Well, we're trying to learn.
Hey,
yeah.
I mean, I think that's great though, because it kind of, you're feeding your soul into different things and kind of just thinking what are the other things you can enjoy. So right now, what are you creating any, like in music at least? Are you writing anything? Are you?
Yeah, well, so I'm in this label called Pool Records. Shout out Pool Records.
Shout out Pool Records.
And so if you're familiar with Crown.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, he's making an album.
You guys are both like a duo.
I love him. I really admire the guy. And he's coming out with an album. I'm privileged enough to see the process of how it's going. And so I told him, he's also getting married this year. And so I told him, my gift to you is I want to make you a documentary.
Oh, wow.
So this is kind of what's propelled my interest to shooting stuff. And so, it's only started with like my Samsung Flip. Shout out Samsung.
Just shout them all out.
Samsung! And just recording the sessions that he has with the different artists that he's getting for his album, and hopefully turning that into a documentary of sorts. And then for my personal music, I have an EP coming out in December.
Hey,
yeah, thanks.
We got Mito, we got Curtismith tracks coming.
Yes, yeah. Just 4 situations that I like to be in when I'm out, which is few and far in between. But I think also with the documenting, I'll come out more often because like I just like going out with something to do.
Yeah,
I don't want to
yeah.
just linger.
I think that's part of growing up.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like, okay, am I just gonna go out and drink? Like, give me something productive.
Yeah. Let's make some money.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're out.
Cool. So, like, with your writing process now, like, can you kind of give me a comparison to how, you know, you're approaching music now compared to, like, you know, just as you know, having sobriety? Like, how are you approaching the writing process, the creative process differently?
It's a lot more free. I now come into the studio with nothing pre-written a lot of the times. Or if I do, it's like maybe ideally a chorus, because I'm not the best at writing choruses or catchy melodies. Thank you.
Oh.
I personally don't feel like that's my insecurity, I guess, as a musician. And so when it comes to coming into the booth now, it's just like less judgment and just writing on the spot. What is this beat making me feel? How am I able to complement this beat in this moment? What am I picturing? Stuff like that.
Do you have visuals when you like?
I love visuals, but sometimes I'm just really caught up in the moment. I notice, though, that when I do have visuals there, it's really, really helpful. So, yeah.
Cool. And so with your, what can we expect with the new sound? Like, because with Night Run, like, it's a very different take, I feel like.
Thanks.
with your sound. And I love it. It's just very different. Like, it's very fresh. So is that the kind of sound that we're going to be, you know, we can look forward to? Or is it like, are you really like kind of experimenting with Mito?
It's as left, if that makes sense. Like, if Night Run for you is very like, oh, what? I think all of the songs will be like, oh, where's this coming from? Which I love. You know
I
what
love
I
that
mean?
too. So
Yeah.
it's a surprise.
Yeah, for sure.
It's going to be a box full of surprises.
Definitely.
Okay, guys, we back. Honestly, okay, sorry, guys. You were just looking at a picture or something. The camera died. I'm still a one-woman band. Take it easy on me, even though it's season 2.
Respect.
Season
respect,
3,
my
maybe.
G.
Season 3, maybe we have a team, but we back. The visuals are back. You've been listening to our voice, but we back. I didn't want to. There was too many nuggets in there that shouldn't have a second take. So. Sorry about that, but we're back. All right, so we're gonna take it off for when we kind of stopped, but this segment is the last segment and a little bit fun. We're gonna be kind of talking about your past songs, your past tracks, what went behind that, the kind of creative process you had also, and just like what maybe was going through your mind. Because I feel like, you know, there are certain tracks, you know, back then that are probably so much more different to how you are now. So we're gonna be talking about 3 tracks of yours. So this is called Behind the Work. All right. First of all is Night Run. So as I said earlier, but we got cut. I love this track. I think it's a very different sound, and you know, you actually get to kind of flex your singing ability as well.
It's auto-tune.
Hey, it still sounds amazing though.
Thank you.
What kind of got you into this newer, fresher sound?
I have always been into like different genres, and so at this point in my musical journey, I don't want to neglect those versions of myself. And in actually the opposite of neglect, I want to lean into those different versions. And so Night Run, thank you for liking it, because that's me leaning into whatever else I like and trying to fuse it with what I've done previously, I guess, and just
Cool.
yeah,
Kind of experimenting.
oh, definitely.
So what kind of inspired you with the writing, with the just the overall flow of this?
The track,
Yeah.
no,
That was not the track.
It was half and half. So I started writing like the chorus when I was in the mountains of Davao.
Wow.
I was in this boot camp, like a bamboo construction boot camp, and it was raining. And we were like in the middle of nowhere on the way to the site. And it was like, it was drizzling, but it was still sunny. And the view was, you know, like you're on top of a mountain. Just, like right across you is Bukidnon. We were in this place called Arakan. And so I got inspired to write like bits of the chorus there. And then when I got back to Manila, I was in the studio and I was jamming with one of our engineers in my studio Mango Room, where I'm a partner, and we were just vibing, and it just came out. Yeah.
I love it when it just clicks.
I love it. That's honestly like one of my favorite experiences.
Aww.
That's the simple highs that I get these days. The studio sessions where it's just super fun.
Oh, I love that. I mean, I can't relate. I've never really like had that kind of, I'm not a musician, but I mean, I feel like that's the same way as when I'm like editing and there's just like it clicks when I'm like, shit, this is the structure. This is the way I want to narrate it. This is like, it's just like a,
that's awesome.
Yeah, no, I
want to feel that.
Hey, you will.
Nice.
Keep at it.
Okay.
You just translate the studio into a editing room. Boom. Awesome. All right, so how about Monte Cristo? So this is such a groovy song, and did you have to sit on this beat for a while and like think about how you wanted to attack it, or like how did your creative process for this one go?
Yeah, it's funny you asked if I had to sit on it for a while. I sat on it for a year.
A year?
I sat on it for a year.
That's masakit. Masakit sa...
Masakit, dude.
Masakit sa puwet.
Yeah, dude. I almost got a hemorrhoid. Yeah, so that's produced by our other engineer in Mango Room. His name is Jeremy. And I really love the beat. Like, the first time I heard the beat, I was like, this is mine. Please give this to me. And he did. But when I was trying to do like the in the moment writing, I wasn't ready yet.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for the song. And so I kept attempting those one-off sessions, and it was always like, this sounds forced, or this isn't it. And then, after a year, we went back into it, and I recorded
without even
that.
like thinking about it, like after you just like had a year off of it.
Yeah. Maybe like a couple months in between the different drafts, and then after that one session, we were like, I think this is it. Yeah. So
this is it.
Great. It's fun. It's a fun one.
I feel like for different tracks you have like different creative like writing processes also. So like in some tracks you would like to write, in session, like
mostly actually, right these days. But my mentality now is I really want to make a song that stands the test of time, which some people will argue that I have made some. I don't think I have yet. So
that's the best kind of mindset to have, though, is just like keeping yourself like, nah, I can do better.
For sure.
That's gonna make the beast ones come out.
I hope.
I'm looking forward to it.
But until then, it's like, fuck.
I know, fuck. It's the fucking process. Gotta fall in love with it. All right, and lastly, Soju. So that's one of my... I fell in love with the video too. It's
Thank you.
Fucking sick.
Shout out Zupraxi.
Zupraxi is so fire.
Yeah.
Beast.
Amazing.
So do you feel like this track of yours, like you were a completely different artist at this stage compared to how you were?
Oh yeah. I was like, that's me, like locked in on alcohol, coping with all my problems through alcohol, past, present, future, just drinking.
It helped though for that. So.
It really did.
Soju.
And what I love about my journey now is like I listen to all those songs and I can remember exactly where my headspace was at, based on the sound of the song and the lyrics of the song. So I'm proud of myself for that, for the fact that I kept it honest. And whether or not people understand it, a lot of people sometimes are like, this makes no sense. Like there's no cohesion here. And I was like,
everyone's gonna have something to say.
Exactly.
So I'm sure your supporters are proud of you too.
Yeah, I love you guys.
Well, do you feel like so I feel like some artists, they like kind of try to mumble with it first, like do you do that like with Soju, for example? Because I feel like your flow is very like fast and very like, it's just, do you have to mumble over that, or you have words already that you want to say?
Always words. Melodies are not my strongest suit. I'm working on it now, but I'm very words based. So it's always, what's the next word? How do I complete this? Okay, where am I going from this, this image?
Yeah.
But I really do want to work on the melodies and stuff. I tried one last night. Not there yet.
Almost there.
Get on the way.
I just have no knowledge of these not terms, but just the creative process of writing a song, and I feel like I'm learning a lot from you, and I'm sure I'm gonna learn a lot from Leela too. So wow, I mean, like, this has been packed with a lot of lessons. And of course, like, thank you again for being so open with everything. Like, I'm very inspired to lay off the wine. Maybe not tonight.
You're fine.
Maybe not tonight. But, you know, I'm sure your supporters are also going to be inspired. And hopefully, like, whoever's on a hard journey, whoever's going through whatever, you know, there's always going to be a solution and a way to deal with it. Life is beautiful, and there's a lot of things that life has to offer, and we just have to take it. So thank you, Mito, for being here. Is there anything that you would like to plug before we sign off?
Love yourself, love other people. Let's just love as hard as we can for our time on earth. Honestly, it's really cheesy, but yeah, just be easy on yourself, man and sister.
You want to plug any social media, any brands?
Okay.
Yeah, he already did.
Yeah, I did.
All right, thank you so much, Mito. Guys, thank you for watching this episode. I know it's season 2, and then we had a little mistake there. Kind of lost the visual.
Nowhere to go
but up. Sorry about that. It's just a little mistake, guys. But hey, still got a lot of lessons and fucking nuggets in this. So thank you guys for watching and listening. And if you are on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment, you know, show some support. And if you are on Spotify, please do rate the podcast 5 stars and follow it as well. Guys, keep on listening. There's going to be so much more packed episodes, so much more artists and friends I'm going to have on. But today, I'm so happy that we had Mito, and I'm about to have Lila. Woo! Bye, guys. Peace. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the episode, go hit the like and subscribe button or rate the pod 5 stars. I'm a one-woman band on this, so your support would mean a lot. Peace.